In my mask. Everybody ready? Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm joined by various representatives of volunteer organizations in our community, including George Bell of the Capital Area United Way 211, East Baton Rouge Parish. As I speak to all of you, neighboring communities across Louisiana and throughout the state of Texas are preparing for Hurricane Laura. While we are fortunate to not be directly within the storm's current path, we are still expected to have direct impacts. As of right now, East Baton Rouge Parish can expect to experience tropical storm force winds and rain as early as tonight and extending through Friday. Like all weather events, this storm can make shifts at any time, and so we must remain prepared. I want to reiterate, Hurricane Laura will primarily be a wind and rain event, with current forecasts predicting 20 to 30 miles per hour sustained winds and wind gusts reaching up to 40 miles per hour. There's a potential for straight line winds and tornadoes, and our community should prepare for all possible outcomes. As a reminder, this situation remains fluid, and Hurricane Laura could change at any time. For example, the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for our parish earlier this morning, but it is now canceled. Due to the fluid nature of inclement weather, we should all prepare for strong winds along with downed trees, downed powered lines, and power outages. In addition to heavy winds, East Baton Rouge Parish is under a flash flood watch until Thursday evening. At this point, we expect the heaviest rain to be Thursday during the morning drive time. 2 to 5 inches of rainfall is forecasted through Thursday. As the day progresses, it's imperative that you make preparations for Hurricane Laura, as well as plan to stay in place tonight until this inclement weather passes over our parish. Please stay at home. I urge you, stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. Remain at home if possible. If there is, for whatever reason, a need to leave your home, don't drive down flooded roads and don't drive around high water barricades. Remember, turn around, don't drown. In addition to staying in place, I need everyone in our community to remain focused on the fact that we are still in the midst of a global pandemic with COVID-19. As you heard from Governor Edwards in his comments earlier, our neighbors in the southwest part of the state may be evacuating from their homes and seeking shelter in other parishes and other states. Coincidentally, these regions have some of the highest coronavirus positivity rates in the state. Please continue to practice mitigation efforts so we can protect our community from the threat of the coronavirus pandemic and the weather at hand. Our East Baton Rouge Parish search and rescue teams are on standby should they be needed. Those teams will head to the southwestern part of the state to assist with rescues there after the needs of our community are met. Now, at this point, we don't anticipate the need to open a shelter in East Baton Rouge Parish, but if necessary, we will be ready to place people in non-congregate shelters after the storm if their home is substantially damaged. The American Red Cross, Capital Area United Way 211, GOSEP, and other volunteer organizations are assisting us in this effort. Please report any trees or debris in the roadway to 311. Please report any downed power lines or power outages to Entergy and DEMCO. You can call Entergy at 1-800-9-OUTAGE, and you can reach DEMCO at 1-844-MY-DEMCO. In case of an emergency, call 911. Now, we know that there is a lot of anxiety related to Hurricane Laura because we just went through a monumental event in 2016 that many of us are still recovering from. If you're experiencing strong anxiety or mental health crisis, you can speak with a counselor by calling 211. With that, I want to turn it over to George Bell with the Capital Area United Way 211, who will talk more about connecting to resources and our social services. George?
Thank you, Mayor Broome. Your Capital Area United Way is pleased to be a provider of 211 resources in our parish and throughout our region, our 10-parish region. The nature of that service is that we are here to provide not only information, up-to-date, accurate information, but as Mayor Broome said, we offer a very essential service in the form of crisis support and mental health and access to mental health professionals. Now, many people experience increased anxiety from events like this, and it is in times like this where we see normally a spike in the calls for these services. These services can be accessed three ways. First, by dialing 211. That's simple. Calling 211 and following the instructions on the prompt to gain access to a licensed mental health professional. The second way is by texting your zip code to 898-211 from the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that is a text message. Then the third is by way of a chat with a live crisis specialist at cauw.org/211. Now, I can't stress the importance of making sure that everyone knows that these resources exist. They're free of charge. There's no cost or anything to you. And it's the kind of information that is can really be a life saver for folks who are undergoing these types of crises. So please heed this information. Lastly, I just want you to know that United Way has been, Capital Area United Way has been here for 95 years. We have seen many storms, many floods, many hurricanes, many events. We have every intention of being here for you after this event. So feel free to look us up if there's any needs by accessing the 211. Lastly, I'll leave with you, let's offer our prayers to our fellow citizens that are in the Lake Charles area in Texas. We may have dodged the direct hit from this one, but we certainly, our hopes and prayers will be with them that they get through this safely. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, George, and thank you to the United Way. All city parish buildings will remain closed through Thursday. We will make considerations on Friday as we monitor the progress of Hurricane Laura. Due to the anticipated wind and rainfall, we have suspended all garbage out of cart and recyclable collections for Thursday. So please bring your garbage bins away from the road and place them close to your home or in your garage if possible. This will help us prevent bins from causing damage. Weather permitting, normal garbage and out-of-cart collections will resume Friday, with the exception of recyclable collections, which are suspended for the week. So let me just reiterate, there will be no garbage pickup or collection on tomorrow. There are recyclables are not being picked up for the entire week. We will get back with you and let you know what will happen on Friday in terms of garbage pickup. So as we continue to prepare for Hurricane Laura, Let me encourage you, and George said it well. You know, we are fortunate, we're blessed that at this time we have not received the impact of Marco, but many of our neighbors across the state stand ready and are waiting for the impact of Hurricane Laura. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And our team here in Baton Rouge, our responders will be, as I said earlier, perhaps going out tomorrow, our fire department, to offer assistance. And so also, let me encourage you, if you want to donate to help people in any type of recovery or assistance, please consider making donations to the Baton Rouge Area Foundation, which has set up a fund specifically for this hurricane. That would be at braff.org. We want you to keep the lines of communication open with us. We will do that, and you can follow us at Red Stick Ready on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please download the Red Stick Ready mobile application. East Baton Rouge Parish residents can also text Red Stick Ready to 225-243-9991 to subscribe to local emergency updates. I want to thank all of our law enforcement partners who are here today joining us and who stand ready to serve in any capacity. So Baton Rouge, let's continue to be prepared. Let's be strong. We are a resilient community, and let's pull together as we see what will happen with Hurricane Laura. I'll take some questions if you have some. Terry?
Mayor, can you speak about your office's work with the state in terms of trying to identify hotels and motels for evacuees, and kind of give us a sense of what it's looking like in East Baton Rouge Parish in terms of how many evacuees are coming here, and motels are they all booked up now? Yeah.
So the question is about hotel and motel capacity here in East Baton Rouge Parish. So we do have a number of our neighbors from across the state who are utilizing many of our hotels at this point. We do have some capacity at hand left, but our message, Terry, to the citizens of East Baton Rouge Parish, if at all possible, stay at home right now. And if you have to go with a family member who you feel safe with in terms of the whole issue surrounding COVID-19, then stay with a family member. Now, if you absolutely need a place to stay, of course, we will look for hotel arrangements, but we will also consider, and we stand ready to open up a shelter if necessary. So, of course, we are not going to let the citizens of East Baton Rouge Parish remain concerned about housing. We will take care of our citizens here, and we will be a good neighbor to those who need us from across the state as well. Yes?
So I know we're expecting wind, rain from this, and the impact is going to be felt more in the west. Your thoughts or your insight into possible concerns about evacuations for elderly people and those who may be living in assisted living homes, especially in our time of the pandemic.
Yeah. So the question is about the elderly and senior, those living in senior assisted or assisted living homes, etc. Basically about our elderly community during a crisis like this. And so let me just say that we are in constant communication with providers, those who serve the elderly, and as we stand ready to serve all of the members of our community, we are certainly highly sensitive to the most vulnerable. As I said earlier, right now, we don't anticipate the impact of Hurricane Laura as it will take place in some other areas. We're thinking it will be more wind and rain for us. So hopefully we won't have to evacuate any of the elderly. But we do have first responders, and we have a network of providers that will collaborate and work together to do any necessary evacuations. And of course, that is if the evacuations are necessary. But I can't reiterate enough that our message right now, in terms of staying safe, is encouraging everybody to stay at their homes, to stay in their house, and we believe that that's the safest place for everyone right now. Yes?
This may be more for Fred. I know we talked about, we know we have low-lying areas here with the impending rain, and we don't know how long that may last. Is there a plan at this point to where to put barriers up to keep people from traveling in these areas? Because I know drive time tomorrow is supposed to be the busiest time with this storm.
So I'm going to ask Fred to answer your question surrounding barriers in low-lying areas.
First off, let me just say that most of the areas that we have deemed hazardous to motoring vehicles or people in low-lying areas, most of those have already been barricaded or set up to pre-staged for barricades. However, if there becomes an issue in a location because the rain exceeded some standards, we will have people to be able to go out and put these barricades up, additional barricades up, to try to relieve some of the concerns about water going into homes, or if we have to look at trying to get people out, we certainly would be getting with the fire department to address for that. But I think the areas that we have issues in, we pretty much have covered, but if we get something a little unusual, we are prepared to address it by either barricading it off or working with the homeowner who might be there, who calls 311 and allows us to know what the situation is. We will address it at that time.
Fred, can you go back? I know that I know that this is, you guys can't be fortune tellers and know exactly what's going to happen, but in terms of comparing it to other rain events we've had, and we've had the street flooding, what are you guys expecting on tomorrow morning? Is it going to be as bad as what we've seen in the past, where you have these short bursts of rainfall and just everything starts to flood?
I always love when you ask that question. You're right. Nobody knows exactly what type of water event we're going to have, and quite frankly, when you have wind and rain, that creates even more issues and use of more resources. But based on the information that's been provided to us by the National Weather Service, and we're in constant communication here with MOSEP, and we ask those questions all the time. If we can do that 2 to 5 inches of rain, I believe, and from what we have done over the many years, our system will handle that. Certainly not 5 inches in an hour. We are going to have some concerns with street flooding, no question about that. That's what we would expect the homeowners to call 311. We would go in to look at there and see what we can do to address that, or to, if they had to evacuate, we would request the fire department to come and help us with that situation. But right now, as it stands, and knock on wood, I believe that what's being proposed, or the outlook for a rain event, I think we can handle that.
Once again, there is so much unpredictability around a weather event like this. But I feel very confident that the team at City Parish has been preparing and stands ready to serve and assist during this event. And I just want to encourage once again our citizens to prepare prayerfully, and let's all keep the lines of communication open, and we'll get through this together.
Ms. Mayor, has the state given you any indication of how many people that the parish may see trying to evacuate here from the outlying parishes?
300 hotel rooms.
Yeah, so the state has said that possibly 300 to 400 individuals we can expect here, traveling here. Any other questions? Thank you all so much, and we'll keep